Welcome back to the second season of Echo Interviews. Today we have a very special guest, Eric Simon, the founder of The Broke Agent. Eric founded The Broke Agent to address the lack of authenticity, edge, and most importantly, humor in the real estate industry. Now, he was clearly onto something as his brand, The Broke Agent, has exploded in popularity. The Broke Agent has amassed over 166,000 followers on Instagram, over 50,000 likes on their Facebook business page, and over 47,000 followers on Twitter. In this episode, Eric shares how he got started, what's worked for him, and most importantly, what you can do to level up your social media game. Let's begin. Welcome back to Echo Interviews. We have a very special guest for you, boss of mega bosses. We have Eric Simon, founder of The Broke Agent. That's right, The Broke Agent, the wildly successful company that whether you've been in real estate or you haven't, you have heard about them. Eric, welcome and thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Eric, let's jump right into it. Tell us a little bit about yourself, the industry that you're in, and how you got started.
I'm 29. I live in Los Angeles. I'm in the real estate industry. I'm a real estate agent working at Compass in Brentwood. And I started the Broke Agent about 4 or 5 years ago with my friend Wes Pinkston, no longer with the company, but we basically were two disgruntled real estate agents in Los Angeles that needed a comedic outlet to air our grievances and our pain and suffering. And we went home one day and downloaded all the channels on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, or the handles, created it, called The Broke Agent, started tweeting, got some success from it. So that's how it started.
That's awesome. So that started 4 years ago, as you mentioned. Did you go straight to The Broke Agent? What was the creation process like?
Actually, it might have been, I think it's 5 years in January, actually, which is ridiculous. He wanted me to write for his real estate blog. And I had a blog called The Pudgy Caddy, which was kind of funny social situations of college or a post-grad, just about like funny party situations and awkward social encounters. And I always wanted to write funny content. So I wanted to continue that in real estate. So we said, let's scrap the original idea and create a real estate blog called thebrokeagent.com. And that's pretty much how it started.
That's awesome. Awesome. So since then and to now, have you been splitting time between being an agent and the Broke Agent?
Yes, I could do both at the same time, thankfully. With being a real estate agent, that's where the content comes from. So the more real estate stuff I do, the more content I get. So I'm unfortunately tied to it forever. I hope that I could stop being a real estate agent and just do the Broke Agent content stuff, because I think that's where the real passion is in the comedy and the skits and the inner monologue of a struggling realtor. But I do both, and one day hopefully it'll just be the Broke Agent.
Got it. You know, I've followed your content like many of the viewers, and really with a lot of people. I've been following your content for quite a while, and something that stands out and makes your content unique, at least for me, is you're articulating what we're thinking. And we're not necessarily, us agents or other agents are maybe not saying it maybe out of shyness, shame, fear, or like people, how are they going to take it, whatever the case may be. But it seems you're articulating and putting a funny spin on, essentially you're being relatable with what we're all thinking, but a little bit not willing to share out loud.
Yeah, a lot of real estate agents probably shouldn't share a lot of Broke Agent posts, because a lot of it is kind of client interactions as well. So some of it hits a little bit too close for home. And even myself, because I am a real estate agent, I have to think to myself, is my client going to see this and think this is about them? Which has happened a couple times, actually.
Really?
Yeah. And also the name, The Broke Agent. I've gotten messages from people saying, I really like your stuff, but I don't want to share your material because it says The Broke Agent on it. I don't want my clients thinking I'm a broke agent. probably shouldn't be saying this in an interview because I want people to continue sharing my stuff. But yeah, I think people can recognize what's a joke and what's a spin. But that's why you have different platforms, because on Instagram you could comment and tag people and your clients aren't going to see that necessarily. On Facebook, if you share it, your clients will see that. But if you're just liking a photo or commenting on a photo, you have these different platforms to interact with the content in different ways to where it probably wouldn't affect your business. Also, it positively affects a lot of people's business because a lot of clients like the fact that real estate agents will be sharing humorous content because it makes them more relatable, makes the transaction a little bit more human also.
Right, right. And I don't think you're going to have an issue with it being shareable. I think the issue that you have, correct me if I'm wrong, is people not crediting the source. So
sometimes people, you mean sharing the content without tagging or something?
Well, not necessarily, yeah, tagging in a way.
Uh-huh.
I know that you have the watermark
Right.
in now at all of your content, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I see some reworking by some agents. I'm not going to call anybody out here, and
Please
chances are they're
do.
not watching my content, but I think that would be more of your issue, because your content is very shareable, because again, that it is relatable and people I mean, find it humorous. So the traction that you're gaining or have gained is incredible. As far as to put everybody in the audience, to put things in perspective, the broke agent handle has over 160,000 followers. So to put the actual perspective on that, the Tom Ferry account has 122.
That's
So
right.
you're beating the main man, Tom Ferry. That is no easy feat. That's
Yeah,
did you know that?
I did. Yes, I did. I check those numbers regularly to make sure I'm constantly kicking his ass. No, Tom's a friend and a mentor of mine, actually. He's been very supportive in the journey of the broke agent. So it's awesome that I'm even mentioning the same sentence as him. That's cool.
That's awesome. Is IG, is Instagram your primary focus?
Yeah, I think the average age of a realtor is like 50 or 55. So a lot of them are on Facebook as well. So Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, YouTube as well. I try to be on every major platform to be where the audience is. But I think Instagram, because of what I said previously about being able to comment and tag people and interact with the content that way, as opposed to sharing it, I think that's definitely my most potent platform. And it's just the easiest with Instagram stories and everything. You can kind of document the behind the scenes, and I could do different characters and give off more of my personality than I would on Facebook or Twitter.
Awesome. Awesome. Do you have clients? You mentioned that you're still a real estate agent and doing the broke agent as well. Do
Mm-hmm.
you find clients because of the broke agent?
I have gotten referrals because of the broke agent. I haven't closed anything because of the broke agent, but it has helped me in transactions in the sense that the realtor on the other side of the transaction who might have heard of me might be more inclined to work with me because of who I am, I guess, because they know that they're working with someone that I guess is relatable or the content they've interacted with in the past. So that's actually helped me get a couple deals where they've felt like they've known me because they've been following my content for a while. So it's actually been a net positive for my business, maybe. Because
Awesome.
I
No.
spent so much time on the broke agent also, maybe it's a net negative. Who knows?
That's, I mean, that's one way of putting it.
Right.
That's awesome. Are you doing anything on YouTube? Just curious.
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I don't post on it too regularly, but I just started doing kind of these minute-long skits that I put up there. I have a couple of real estate rap videos that are extremely embarrassing and should probably be taken off the internet at this point. It was a different time in 2015 when I made those, but yeah, there's some YouTube content up there. But I really want to get more consistent with that and do longer form skits and have actual actors and be able to kind of build out the memes and the tweets into longer scenes that could capture a bigger picture of what I'm trying to do.
You're a creator through and through. That's awesome.
That's
Getting
right.
actors and skits, all that fun stuff. Okay, cool. I need to step up my game. So I shared a little bit about your numbers as far as Instagram and Facebook. So it's clear and evident that you are doing amazing things right as it relates to gathering an audience, gaining an audience. So can you speak more about that? What is your content creation like? Do you have a process? Is there a formula? How do you formulate that next viral hit?
Well, because I am doing real estate stuff on a daily basis, anytime I have a phone call with another agent or I sit in an inspection or a dead open house, there's a lot of circumstances that arise that could be made into a joke or an observation. So I'm constantly writing notes down on my phone, and I have, thousands of things written down that could be turned into different categories, whether it's open house jokes, inspection jokes, offer jokes, Zillow jokes, whatever the case may be. And then I also just follow a bunch of other meme pages or funny pages that post funny videos, and I could kind of twist into real estate content. You could basically throw at an open house at the end of it's real estate content, so it's really not that hard. But to create the viral content, I was just consistent. I post pretty much every single day, once or twice a day. I try to do stories every single day, and I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years. So it wasn't, a direct shot up to 160 plus thousand followers. It was really just kind of a slow grind and staying consistent. And the more tags you get, the more follows. It kind of is like a snowball effect. So you just got to stay consistent and know that a lot of posts won't do that well, but the posts that do well will get a bunch of followers, I guess.
Now, I'm a Instagram newbie. I'm only, as far as Instagram, I'm more on the paid ad side, so getting leads directly through Instagram in that sense. So as far as the organic Instagram, mine is a lonely desert. So explain to me when you say tag, are you referencing tagging other accounts? Are you using hashtags? What would you give me as advice?
Yeah, I am using hashtags. I wasn't for the first 3 or 4 years because I found them aesthetically hideous and just kind of annoying. I always associated hashtags with Instagram influencers or, bodybuilders or something like that. But it was really stupid on my part not to use hashtags because I was missing out on a ton of organic growth. So now I'm trying to put in about 20 to 25 hashtags per post, and I've seen a reach of a minimum 20,000 new people per post through the hashtags. And you have to keep alternating them because of the algorithm changes constantly. And if you keep using the same hashtags, Instagram recognizes that as spam, and then it'll actually shadow ban your posts from those hashtags. So you have to keep rotating. So I have a hashtag block on my phone of the major real estate hashtags, and then you kind of have to make content specific hashtags, global hashtags, local hashtags, and just keep rotating them to see what works.
Whoa, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So if
that
you
explains.
have a business account, you could view insights and see how many people you're reaching through hashtags. And I would just play with them and see what reaches the most amount of people and kind of stick with that formula. But you are going to have to keep alternating it. It's a really time consuming process because it adds an extra 5 minutes to your post because you have to tailor specific hashtags to each one. But if you don't do it, you're only going to reach the people that follow you or the people that come to your page because they were tagged in your page.
Awesome. What's a hack that you can give us or a tip that you can give us on IG stories?
You could definitely use hashtags in IG stories as well. And you could hide them so it doesn't look stupid, because if you have a bunch of hashtags in your IG stories, I just don't think that's really attractive either. Also, I've found that when I'm actually posting myself on IG stories, I get way more views than if I'm just posting a meme, because you can see the little preview in the IG story. So if it's me talking to them, I think people like that a little bit more because it's different content than when I'm actually posting in my feed. So I would definitely try to do at least 5 or 6 IG stories a day. The more IG stories I do, the more growth I get and the more engagement I get on my posts, because if you're interacting with my stories, then my content's going to pop up more frequently on your feed. So the weeks that I don't do IG stories gain as many followers as the weeks that I actually do. So you just got to keep doing it, but it's a lot.
Got it. Eric, I think I missed the boat. I should not have done this as an Echo interview. I think I should have done this as an Echo masterclass.
Oh,
So
what's
you're
that? What's
dropping a
that?
lot of good. So the Echo series, as far, well, my name is not my name. My company's name is Echo Real Estate Advisors. So I
Okay.
have Echo interviews, which is what we're doing right now, but Echo Masterclass is where I have guests on that have mastered a certain craft. As an example, Trevor Jones is a former film editor in Hollywood, and
Hmm.
he teaches real estate agents how to do video correctly, how to have it engaging, how to make a business out of, how to gain business through video. So I've had an Echo Masterclass with him, and that's what I was mentioning with Echo Masterclass.
Uh,
You drop so many knowledge bombs right there that I may do both. I may
Sweet.
do both. There's a lot of good content here.
Well, I am
So
coming out with an Instagram growth ebook that I will be dropping soon that will give away a lot of these knowledge bombs and nuggets. So that could
awesome.
definitely be something.
I'll be sure to link it on this interview as well when you have it ready. You think
Sweet.
it'll be later on this year or next?
Oh, no, it'll be this year, definitely. It's already written. It's just being branded right now, and we're putting in all the photos and everything. So I'm actually launching a new website, and then I'm launching the ebook with the website. So that's going to be the first thing you can download when you go to the website.
Awesome. Awesome. The one thing that I do know about Instagram is that they give you one live website link. Now now that's a, like, on your bio, right?
Yes.
Where are you directing your attention? Where are you directing traffic that the broke agent gets?
So right now it's at thebrokeagentbook.com. So I have a book that I came out with called Commission Impossible, which is written by me and illustrated by Eric Lee. And it's basically about my life and his life in residential real estate in cartoon form. But that link will be thebrokeagent.com when the website is finished, because right now I have thebrokeagentstore.com, which is merchandise, thebrokeagent.com, which is a blog that I haven't posted on in 2 years, and then thebrokeagentbook.com. So I have like 15 URLs. I need to direct them into one hub where you can see all my services and everything that I provide. And it has the comics, the book, uh, Instagram training, stuff like that.
Got it. Got it.
It doesn't have
Cool.
Instagram training. I just made that up actually, but it will have Instagram.
Hey, you got to speak it into being.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, we're sharing a lot of things that you have done right and continue to do right. So it's very knowledgeable, but just looking outward for a bit without necessarily calling anybody out, not that you would, but what are you seeing real estate agents get wrong as they're trying to get engagement, as they're trying to, gain that attention from the outside in, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, really any platform that you can think of? What are you seeing that agents are doing that is not necessarily going to get them attention?
A lot of agents are doing the motivational quote kind of fake real estate bullshit that seems to be all over Instagram. A lot of people are, yeah, like little mini fake Tom Ferrys and fake Gary Vaynerchuks that are talking about how early they're waking up, videoing
Grind,
their
grind, grind.
workout, videoing their grinds, their workouts, everything like that. I think there's just so much noise on Instagram. I don't think that separates you from anybody. I think a lot of people are doing more creative videos now, and I'd like to think that the broke agent has positively influenced the space in a way that people are resorting to more humorous skits and real estate marketing videos, like rap videos, like that teach me how to Duffy video. There's a lot of like creativity happening in the space now. I think the real estate industry always seems to be 2 or 3 years behind other industries because it's a slightly older demographic within the learning Instagram now and learning TikTok and learning Twitter. So I think it's getting better and better, which is great. And I think agents also make the mistake of just constantly posting about real estate, whether it's just their listings or asking people if they want to buy or sell a home. And just, you obviously have to promote your business, but I think mixing in your personality is really what people are going to connect with, because everybody knows 10 realtors, everybody follows 10 realtors, and everybody is, I don't know, there's just so much noise out there. You got to separate yourself with your personality because that's who people will ultimately be working with and connecting with, is your interests and your social skills.
That's awesome. That's awesome. No, so thank you for that. Now, you mentioned a platform that a lot of people are curious about, TikTok. What's your feel on that for a real estate professional?
I knew I shouldn't have mentioned that. I don't know, because I just downloaded it like a week ago, so I haven't started on it yet. But
You and I both.
okay, but Gary V always talks about like the agification of these apps, and how, you know, Snapchat kind of started off as like a middle school, high school app and slowly progressed upwards as more people started adopting it. Same with Facebook, same with Instagram. Facebook, everybody's grandparents on it now. Instagram was a younger platform as well, not anymore. TikTok is a great app to make cut up videos to music. It has awesome editing. I really can't speak upon it too much because I haven't played around with it yet, but I feel like it'll be a great way to film funny skits and funny marketing videos. So I think people should start adopting that as soon as possible if they want to be ahead of the game.
Got it. Got it. Well, just looking at that platform and really other platforms, the best illustration that I can give, again, this is no Gary V type content, but nor to that level, but I look at Vine and how that skyrocketed and then just dove down. But through Vine, you got the Paul brothers, you got King Batch, you got a lot of other creators that are just absolutely dominating in the YouTube space. So they gathered attention, and the attention didn't die for them. It died maybe on Vine because Vine is no longer available, but they have transitioned into other platforms because they have gained that attention. So it's an asset in that regard. So I may be a little bit late to TikTok as it relates to being an early adopter, but I do think that investing in new platforms is not a bad idea.
No, definitely. You're definitely not late, especially in the real estate space. You'll be one of the first adopters. I don't know who's on it. I can't name one person. Maybe Tom Ferry is, but you have to be on all these platforms because of that reason. So when we started the Broke Agent, we made sure to be on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, I guess Pinterest, apparently. We were talking before the interview. I didn't even know we were on Pinterest. But it's important to be on those platforms because you never know one of these platforms is going to fade. You never know if you're going to get kicked off one of these platforms. And you never know which piece of content is going to go viral or get the most engagement on which platform. So you know who Jonathan Hawkins is, the hashtag agent? The hashtag.
Jonathan, no.
He's like a real estate social media guru, I guess you would say. He's my friend. And he told me that if you post the same piece of content on 4 or 5 different platforms, it improves the engagement on all of those platforms if you have the same handle. So it's important to have a consistent handle and branding and consistent hashtags for all of your posts as well. So that'll give it more exposure.
Okay.
So if you post the same piece of content on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, YouTube, or whatever, your website, blog, that content will do better if it's the same on 5 platforms.
Thank you for saying that, because 1, it's super great advice, but 2, I've been on the fence about unleashing my new name, which I'm going to speak it into being here, which it's the franchise agent.
Damn. Okay.
And I already have the domain and everything, so you can go and check it out at GoDaddy. I got that a year and a half ago. So the franchise agent is something I've been toying around with because 1, it's a little bit more memorable than Echo Real Estate Advisors, to be honest with you. I don't hate my name. It's just not memorable. So the franchise agent has a little different ring to it. So
it does. Yeah, that's good. I think having a memorable handle was very key to this thing taking off, because a lot of the growth hacking that we did on Instagram was commenting on other pages, liking photos, following accounts, unfollowing accounts. And the more they saw the name The Broke Agent, they'd be like, oh, what the hell is this? I've never, this is a funny real estate thing. So if we didn't have a memorable name, I don't think we would have gotten a lot of that initial growth. So if you have like a name, if your real estate handle is like Danny sells Houston 96 or something like that, that's a pretty generic real estate name. But if it's double N Danny, maybe that's a little better, but that's kind of sexual, so I don't know.
Hey,
It's not bad, actually.
we all know the saying, sex sells.
Right, exactly.
All right, well, my favorite question is coming up. So I want you to think of it as if you were starting new from not necessarily an agent perspective, but from an online present perspective. So my question is, if you had to start all over again today, what do your next 7 days look like? Again, keep in mind, this is for the online presence. And the reason that I ask that question is because in this channel, I like to pride myself in actual practical advice, something tangible that when people hit that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell, just a reminder.
You're just like Jake Paul. Wow.
I'm not going to say merch or link in bio or anything like that, but
okay.
I don't have merch. You can get his merch. I'll link that up.
TheBrokeAgentStore.com.
There you go. You stole my plug, Eric. Anyway, no. So what would you do in the next 7 days if you needed to restart your online presence?
Oh, wow. That's a good question. I would definitely focus on YouTube. I think that the YouTube space in the real estate industry is completely untapped. There's only a few that are doing the daily vlogs. And I think I would definitely start there and try to expand from there, because YouTube monetization is nice. You can do longer form content. And I just think that an untapped space, and that being a place where you can post longer form content, would be my first move. I mean, you could do it now with IGTV as well, but I just feel like the YouTube space is kind of ripe for the taking. And I think 2014, 2015, back when I started this, those were kind of the golden years of YouTube. So I would have probably focused on that and just started with longer form skits, even though I'm still trying to do that today. That's what I would have done.
Awesome. So you'd open a YouTube channel and start pouring in content.
Yes.
Awesome.
And doing reaction videos to, I don't know, the Property Brothers or something like that, or just like, providing a kind of commentary voice on the real estate industry. I think that's, and I can still do this, so it's not like it's done. But I mean, I also like what I did with it when I started. Like, I like that we did Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I don't know if I would have changed it necessarily, because I like where it's become today.
Nice. So if you start seeing from this channel a lot of vlogs, I'll give you credit. I'll be sure to give you credit.
Thank you.
Eric, well, how can the audience connect with you? Where would you like for people to connect with you?
Well, in a month, they could go to thebrokeagent.com, and then they could get the ebook and everything. But thebrokeagentbook.com, get the book. TheBrokeAgentStore.com. We got new Halloween door knocking merchandise, so you can get that. And then just at The Broke Agent on everything: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Check out the content, like and subscribe.
Perfect. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Echo Interviews. Eric, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks for having me.